In the final, windswept hours of Prince William's tour of North Wales, something rare and profoundly moving unfolded, something that reminded the world not only of his devotion to service, but also of the enduring love story at the heart of the modern monarchy. Here, in Machtra, as Prince William spoke with founders of the Youth Sheds Initiative, a haven for young people who have faced homelessness, bullying, and isolation, he offered a tribute so deeply felt, so unexpectedly intimate, that observers instantly recognized its significance. Behind every average man, he said with a gentle, knowing smile, is an even better wife. The remark drew warm laughter in the room, but for those who followed the Prince and Princess of Wales through more than a decade of marriage, it was a line that carried far more weight than its simplicity suggested. It was not a public statement crafted for effect. It was the natural, unguarded reflection of a man who has walked through some of the most difficult days of his life, and credits his wife for standing by him through all of them. William had been speaking with Scott Jenkinson, the founder of Youth Sheds, and Scott's wife, Sion. The couple had shared how their partnership helped them rebuild a life once marked by addiction and homelessness. When William asked Sion, "Were you there with Scott when he turned his life around?" it was as though he were simultaneously acknowledging the steady presence in his own journey, Catherine, the Princess of Wales. Scott's response, "With my wife behind me. You know that," sparked that now viral moment of princely honesty. William nodded, laughed softly, and offered his tribute. This is it. Behind every average man, there is an even better wife. It was touching enough on its own, but the context made it unforgettable. This was William's final stop on a tour through North Wales, landscapes deeply intertwined with the early chapters of his life with Catherine. Not far from Anglesey, where the newlyweds once lived in a modest rented home while William served as an RAF search and rescue pilot. Not far from the place where they spent their earliest nights as new parents to Prince George. And not far from the rugged coastline where they first learned to build a life as a team, away from palace walls, away from scrutiny, and away from the expectations that often weigh heavily on royal shoulders. To stand there again, after the heartbreaking trials of the past years, the late-night worries, the fear, the cancer diagnoses that shook both his wife and his father, was to return to a place of beginnings. A place where hope once grew, where love was young, and where the couple first discovered who they would be together. No wonder the words slipped from him so naturally. Throughout the day, William immersed himself fully in Youth Shed's mission. He listened as children described their struggles with school, fear of noise, anxiety in crowded classrooms. He knelt beside them as they shaped clay figures on the organization's outreach bus, laughing that it felt like a party bus. He watched teenagers experiment with 3D printers, spoke earnestly about the importance of strong foundations, and reminded them that success rarely arrives by skipping straight to the top. But even as he encouraged those children to find guidance in their communities, to talk to trusted adults, and to build resilience step by step, the theme of strong, steady support repeatedly surfaced. It was impossible to miss. Support from mentors. Support from family. Support from partners. Support like the kind he, himself, treasures in Catherine. Perhaps that is why Emily, the founder's daughter, shyly gifted William handmade earrings for the princess. Perhaps that is why the sugary sweets he received prompted him to chuckle that they may never make it back to George, Charlotte, and Louis. Even in this community center far from palace gates, Catherine's presence lingered, beloved and acknowledged in countless small gestures. And then, in the most poignant layer of all, came the emotional symmetry of this particular day on the royal calendar, William and Catherine's 14th wedding anniversary. 14 years since Westminster Abbey. 14 years since that iconic balcony moment. 14 years since the couple began a journey that, in 2024 and 2025, was tested in ways neither could have imagined. Yet here they are, stronger, more open, more united. As royal observers have noted, the challenges of the past year have softened them in the most human way. They laugh together more freely now. They show affection more naturally. They walk into rooms hand in hand. It is a quiet evolution, but a powerful one.